All right, here we go. So, binomial expansion part 1. We're going to use Pascal's triangle to find the appropriate coefficients when expanding a simple binomial. So this is actually the shortcut way. So instead of actually multiplying out a plus b times a plus b times a plus b, right? You would have to like FOIL and distribute, and then you could do it that way, but it takes a really long time. So this is a faster way of doing it, especially when you get higher exponents like 4, 5, 6. So Pascal's triangle, you guys, always starts 1, 1, 1. So make a little triangle of ones, okay? And then we build from there, and we always do a 1 first, and then these two add right here to make 2, and then we finish it with a 1. Okay, and then the next row is a 1, and we add these together and we get a 3, and we add these together and we get a 3, and we finish it with a 1. And the next one, we start with a 1, and what's this one going to be? 4. And then we add these two together, and what's that? 6. And then we add these two together, and we get 4. And then we finish it with a 1. And let's just keep going right now. So we get a 1, and then these two make a 5. And these two make a 10. And these two make a 10. And these make a 5. And we get a 1. And I'm going to stop because I'm running out of room. All right, so anything to the 0 power is 1. So if you have a 0 exponent, that goes with the top, okay, because anything is 1. If you have a 1 exponent, you go right here because you end up just getting a plus b, and so it's 1a plus 1b. That's your second one. So the next one is my 3. So this is the 0 row, this is the 1, this is the 2. I'm looking for the 3 because this guy is a 3. So these are going to be my coefficients. That's what this line of numbers is. It's the coefficients of my answer. Okay. And so my first term is going to be a 1. And then we start with a cubed. The first one's a cubed. And the second one starts with b to the 0. You don't have to write it down. So your first thing, the a, whatever's in the first spot, starts with the highest exponent, and it is going to descend. And whatever's in the second spot starts with 0, and it's going to ascend. In other words, the next one's going to be a 3 for my coefficient. And then I'm going to get a squared. It was a 3 here. I'm going to go down. Now it's a 2. This b was a 0. Now it's going to be a 1. All right, so the a's are descending and the b's are ascending. And now I have a 3. And I went 3, 2, and now my a is a 1. And my b is a 2, because my b is increasing from the last one. And now my last coefficient is a 1, and I get a to the 0 and b to the 3rd. All right, so notice my a's went 3, 2, 1, and 0. And my b's went 0, 1, 2, and 3. By exponent. Do I need to write these things that are to the 0 power? No, I probably would not. Okay, so just keep on expanding and building your triangle. So we just did this. If you guys want to fill this in here, you can, or maybe you already did do it here. All right, and just remember what happens to the exponent of a. So this one, if we're talking about, oh, what are they expanding right here? Looks like they're expanding this 5th one right here. All right, a plus b to the 5th. So this guy, my coefficient would be a 1. My next term would have a coefficient of 5. My next term would have a coefficient of 10. And my next one would have a coefficient of 10 and 5. And 1. What's happening to my a's? They're going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. What's happening to my exponents of my b's? They're going 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice, what do these always add to? 5, every time. All right, so your exponents within every single term should always add to whatever the exponent is here. So these always add to 3 in every term, okay? So let's try another one. x plus y to the 4th. So this is the 0 row. This is the 1 row. This is the 2 row. This is the 3 row. So I need to write out the next one. And so I got to add 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. Everybody know how I'm getting these numbers? Everyone feel good about that? Okay, good. So I start with coefficient of 1, and then I'm going to write x to the, Stella, what? Close. Start with your highest on the first one. So I'm going to start with a 4. And my y is going to be to the 0. Plus, my next coefficient is a 4. And now, Evan, my x is going to be to the what power? Third. And Dylan, my y is going to be to the what power? Good. Plus. Now I have the next coefficient. I'm going to come down here because I'm running out of room. Thomas, L, what's my next coefficient going to be? Good. I have a 6. And then, Anna, my x is going to be to what power? Good. And my y, Kelsey, is going to be to what power? Yep. Okay, good. Notice these add to 4. These still add to 4. These still add to 4. All right, my next coefficient, Jake, is what? Good. And Hannah, my x is going to be to what power? And Aaron, my y is going to be to what power? Good job. Plus. Now I'm on the last term because I have a 1 right here. And so, Peyton H, what's my x going to be to? The 0 power. And Abby, what's my y going to be to? The 4th power. All right, and you don't have to put these guys that are to the 0 power. If you do, I probably won't count you wrong, but you don't have to. All right, what if I just want to find the 4th term of s plus t to the 6th? If you know the shortcut for this, you should try to do it Pascal's triangle way for now. All right, so first of all, I have to go all the way to the 6th row. So we need to keep working it out. And maybe I'll just go back to the one we already drew on over here. Which one do we go the furthest to? So I only went to the 5th because this is my 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the next one would be the 6th. So I need to keep going here. 1, 6, add those, that's 15. Add those, that's 20. Add those, that's 15. Add those, that's 6. And then end it with a 1. All right, so I went to the 6th row because my exponent here is a 6. I want the 4th term. So if I want the 4th term, I got to count over my coefficients. This would be the 1st term. This would be the 2nd term. This would be the 3rd term. This would be the 4th term. And I get a 20. So that's my coefficient. All right, and then I'm going to have s to the something and t to the something. We need to figure out what that exponent is. It always starts with s to what power, you guys? The 6th. It starts with s to the 6th. So that means that this is going to be the 6th power, the 5th power, the 4th power, and so the next one's going to be the 3rd power. So this would be s to the 3rd power. All right, and the t's always start with what? Or the 2nd term always starts with what exponent? Good, a 0. And then we count over. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3. So my t is to the 3rd power as well. Again, just double check. What should these two numbers add to in this problem? 6, and they do. All right, we're changing the next one to a negative. So I know on your paper it says a plus, but I want you guys to make it a minus sign because what if we have a minus? All right, expand completely. This one looks fun. So it's a minus sign. We have it to the 7th. So I need to go back because I got to go all the way to the 7th, and this was only to the 6th. So let's add one more row. All right. So I get 1. Add these together. That's a 7. Add these together. That's a 21. Add these together. That's a 35. Add these together, and that's a 35. Add these together, and that's a 21, and a 7, and a 1. Wow. That's a lot of numbers. Okay, whoops. So, I'm going to start with my first coefficient, which was a 1. And I'm going to do a to the, Tim, what exponent? the 7th. And then I'm going to do b corbit to what exponent? Good. All right, now when it's negative, you alternate signs. So if the first term's positive, the next term is negative. All right, my next coefficient was a7, and Carson, it's going to be a to the what and b to the what? What'd you say? I know, I said to change it though, right? Okay. Okay, so it's going to be a to the 6th because I'm descending, and b to the 1st because I'm ascending on that one. All right, it was negative for the last one. Now I go positive, right? We're alternating because you all changed your paper to a minus sign right here. So the next coefficient is a 21, and then my a is going to go down to 5, and my b is going to go up to 2. And I had a minus, or I had a plus before, so now I have a minus, and this is going to be 35. And I want you guys to try to finish this on your paper, and then I'll check it. All right, you guys, so check and make sure you alternated signs. Make sure your A's are descending by 1 and your B's are ascending by 1 every time. And make sure you have the right coefficients. Also, notice I didn't put the A to the 0 here, and you don't have to put the B to the 0 there if you don't want to. All right, you guys, let's try one on the whiteboards.